Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How was your day today? I hope you're doing well. Hope everything in your world is fabulous. As always, I love hearing from you, so let me know. It's late, and I don't feel good. And I had planned on doing a pretty big video today, kind of going back through the week's comments and talking about them, because this week it was really, really awesome, insightful comments this week. So thank you very much for that. We'll probably do that next week at some point, because I really enjoy those, like, you know, including you in the conversation comments. But instead, I want to touch on one particular set of comments, going back to the gun control video, which I'll link up here. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for everything that you said. One of the things that kind of shocked me was how many people were appalled or concerned or distressed or just generally pointed out that I don't know how many guns I own. And while I said that, and I still don't necessarily have a firm number in my mind, I could name off each gun, probably. I don't think I would miss any, and come to a number. But off the top of my head, I have no idea. And there's a good reason for that. They're nothing special. They're just guns. And I know that sounds weird, especially in lieu of what has just recently happened in this country, but it's the truth. You got to remember, I was born and reared in West Virginia. The gun culture here is nothing special. Everybody owns guns. Literally everybody. Like, my parents don't have a gun. Other than that, I would be very hard-pressed to tell you somebody I know who doesn't own a gun. Guns are very ubiquitous here. They're just super common. It's nothing special to have a gun. It's just a thing that I own. And I own a number of them, and they each serve their own individual purpose. I don't have 10 of the same. I'm not a collector. I don't care to collect. I hunt specific things, and so I have specific guns for that type of hunting. I have self-defense pistols, and I said pistols there because I have training pistols as well as live fire, right? So owning a gun is it's nothing here in West Virginia. I couldn't tell you how many screwdrivers I own. I couldn't tell you how many hammers I own. I couldn't tell you how many books I own. Could you tell me anything, you know, off the top of your head, how many DVDs do you own? It's not something that I internally catalog constantly to make sure that everything is right. It's nothing to, you know, the guns that I own are a fairly solid core set, and every now and then they change. And here it's nothing to own a gun. It's nothing to, if I wanted a gun right now, I could go to the store and purchase a gun. There's a 24-hour Walmart, and I can go buy a gun 24 hours a day. No big deal. Walk in, give cash, walk out, have gun and ammunition in my hand. That's it. There's no special process. If I want to own a pistol right now, that'd be a little harder. You have to do like they call the FBI and they do a background check. And that usually, I think there's a 3-day grace period or something like that. If there's a gun show, like this past weekend here in West Virginia, I could just walk in and buy a gun. They do a phone call thing. The guy on the other end says, yep, he's good, and then I buy it and I walk out. Otherwise, I could go to probably any of my neighbors with cash and buy a gun right now. It's not a big deal. It's just a thing, right? It's just a tool that I own. And going back to the pistol thing, I have a 22 and a 380 caliber pistols, because they are made by the same manufacturer and in the exact same frame, which means they're the same size, the grips are the same, the safeties are the same, the triggers are the same. Everything is identical about them except that one fires rimfire 22 and one fires a 380. What that means is when I go to practice with those guns, I can shoot a heck of a lot of 22, which is really inexpensive, which will help, and it has very little recoil, so it doesn't hurt after a day. I can shoot hundreds of rounds practicing my trigger pull, practicing my stance, practicing my draw, practicing magazine changes, practicing, being on target, shot placement, that sort of stuff. And then I can switch to the 380. It's the exact same feel in the hand. It looks identical. It's basically, for all intents and purposes, the same gun, except it kicks harder. And that is my self-defense pistol. So I can do a lot more practice cost effectively, and then switch to the 380, shoot a few through magazines of 380, and make sure that I'm comfortable with it. And that's the key, is like, it's practice, right? Otherwise, it's just a tool. It's just a thing. All right. Until I know how to use it, it's nothing. My welder is a tool that I know how to use. If I handed it to a just random person on the street, it's useless. And it's no different, for me, in my mind, with a weapon. If you don't know how to use it, it's useless. It's just a paperweight, right? And so my collection being as fluid as it is, guns come and go. I don't stockpile them. I probably have a few hundred rounds for each of them. Maybe some I have, the 22s, for instance, I have rifle and pistol. I probably have thousands of rounds because they're so inexpensive, and you go buy a 1,000-round box. It's just a tool, and it's something that I've grown up around. I've, been around guns my entire life, and they're nothing special. So that's why I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I know I own more than 5 and I own less than 10. If you want to know more detail, I'd have to write down a list. That's it. It's just a thing. So thank you. Thank you for all the amazing comments this week. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being, not being trolls. I'll see you on Monday.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from English Language Learning StackExchange.com. Interesting. What time is the evening? I don't know if there's an official answer, is there? According to this, there is. Noon is at 12 p.m. Afternoon is from 12:01 to 5 p.m. Evening is 5:01 to 8 p.m. or around sunset. Night is from sunset to sunrise.